Yo, what is up, everybody? It is Monday, and I am back. I hope you guys had a beautiful weekend. I know for myself, I took about a week and a half, just for some time off for me. My parents have just sold their home, so I've been helping them move a little bit and kind of help them with that whole process, and just taking about a week and a half off. I have actually taken a bartending position again for the winter, which is actually going to be super exciting. It's a really, really awesome brunch spot. So I'll basically be working a couple days a week in the morning. And then I'll basically just be doing my nights with the crypto and hanging out with you guys. And then, just living out life. But it's going to be fun. I'm actually excited about it. It's a beautiful little venue right in the heart of kind of downtown where I live. And it's all garden, like fresh, like all fresh garden, all fresh foods. Everything's farm to table. So it's just a really cool. It's kind of expensive, but it's a really cool atmosphere. They do their own juicing process, so I'll get to learn about that, as well as different coffee beans and how they roast and flavor profiles, and just all types of crazy stuff. So I'm very, very excited to enhance my skill set in that further, and to dive deeper with my knowledge, and also just kind of hang out, meet people. Working from behind the computer sometimes can be a little lonely. So I know I have you guys, which is awesome, but it's cool to actually connect, and I do miss that aspect sometimes. So I'm going to get that fill. But heading into Bitcoin, looking at where we are at, it's been a minute since I gave you guys an update. So let's go ahead and recap some stuff. Okay, so overall, we have this big wedge that I think we're in. This could take a year to play out. But it looks like we had a major upspin that everybody saw. We had a bear market, which we've suffered through. Had this huge dip where we tried to buy down here, and then we've had our massive, run up back up to like 13K. Now, what I think is so important about this is I have some support and resistance lines drawn by the red, the yellow, the green, and then this kind of darker blue. And those are huge Fibonacci retracement levels, okay? So what that means is they're huge support and resistance. And right now we're kind of chopping around this yellow. But what's significant from the last video that I gave you guys is we kind of honed in on this specific area, right? Where we did show a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5th wave to complete our Elliott run up. We then had a cool down of an A, a B, and a C wave. This is how we interpreted it. And then when we got to our C wave, we looked in a little bit further, and we saw a higher low here. So between this arrow and this arrow, it's actually higher, and it held perfectly that yellow line. So you can see you had a wick below here, but you actually held. And then you had a wick here, but you actually held. So it formed a bottom that we could say in the market. So if you can have a little bit of an imagination here and kind of block out a lot of those lines and just focus on this teal for a second, you'll see once we had our cool down, we got a pop. Okay. Now with that pop, there was a couple different reasons why I think we got it. Right here was our 55-day moving average, which we dropped below, but then immediately ran to the upside. Okay. Just to create bearish divergence from where we previously were, and then we sold off. But as we've talked about many times before, you'll see this tightening. You'll see this tightening effect that we have, and up, down, up again, back down to the yellow line, up to the teal line, and it's like, are you going back to the yellow? But the fact that we are consolidating here makes me think that we are gaining support. And if you can look at just that teal line like we talked about, you have a potential of maybe holding this wedge, and it looks to be down sloping, right? So we can actually move this a little bit from when the last time we had it to probably about here. Okay, so we're definitely coming up to a decision, right? And you would think the low side would be 94, which is where we've been sitting at. We go down to 94. We go up to 106, 107. We go back down to 98. We go up to 103. Back down to, and we just keep fluctuating. And some people are just playing these little moves, 30%. Drops down to 0. Back up to another 12, 13%. And now it's cooling its way back down, But there's multiple different moves to be made, in short. And, when I say short amount of times, I mean like 15 days to a month. But we played this one. This was the last one that we played together. And that was the bounce from here to here, which was, 26% in around 7 days. And then we've cooled off. We did hold here, but I am a little bit uncertain. I'm not 1,000% sure of where we're going to go here. I would like to see us hold. I do think that this is turning into more of a bullish pattern as we get more development with our candlesticks. This definitely looks to be like a descending triangle or a flag. When you have your impulse up, then you flag out and up, and then you run to the upside again a lot of the time. Not saying that you will this time, but it does look to be a bullish continuation pattern. Right? So if we can just take everything off the chart for a second. Okay, you can see we had that sell off, the cup, right? This was our cup, and then we had, boom, the huge breakout to confirm it, and then this would be your handle for your back test, and then this is your impulse up. Okay, so this was your impulse up, and then I say you are breaking down to form that flag. Okay, and when you form that flag and you form that level of support, then as long as you hold above here, right, because this is a huge support, breaking above all this little area, this little cup handle area, was massive. Because once you broke above that 6,500 range, you took off and you doubled your price and went to 14,000. So you went from 6,000 to 14,000 in no time because you broke this resistance right here. As soon as you broke right there, which I know it brought all my lines back, but as soon as you broke right here, man, you doubled your price. And it took you all of, less than 2 months for a huge, a relatively large asset class. So just keep that in mind. So what I think is happening from that is, you had a huge run up, and now this yellow line that I drew is going to be crucial. You're going to have to hold here. If you don't hold here, you're going right back down to where you were at the 7K region, right? From when you went from 14, you're about to cut your price in half and probably go to around the 7 area. But as you tighten up here, as it does get closer and closer and closer to our decision, a big move is coming. So we had that bleeding 9 we talked about, that TD sequential. Well, where did that go? So 9 right here was the bleeding 9. Not much came of it, right? You went up, bearish divergence, sold off, came up, and now you're getting very, very tight within those ranges. You're on a 3, so 4 candle down, and then hopefully maybe you'll see an impulse up. Not really telling us much with the TD. Let's go to the Bollingers. Bollingers are still pretty tight, which means a move's coming, which basically means you're building that spring effect to have a squeeze, like when you squeeze the grape and you get your impulse in either direction, right? So being in between these heavy resistance points, support and resistance points, yellow being your support line, don't lose the yellow line, and green being your resistance line. So anywhere on this green area can be resistance. It's getting above that means you're probably going to retouch topside at 13,000, hit that 618, 13,000, 40, 400, 13,000, 3 something, somewhere, anywhere around in there could all be areas of value, right? But I do like the fact that when we broke up and we broke down, we're breaking higher. Okay, so even though we consolidated here, it's still higher than here. It's still higher than here. It's higher than where we were. Okay, so overall, sentiment's high. Okay, and if that's the case, I'm gonna delete this because if that's the case, we could have something else in play. Where'd she go? There she is. Okay. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and if that's the case, then this could be a potential. This could be your fifth wave. Oops. 5. This could be 4. This could be 3. This could be 2. And if that's the case, get rid of this. Keep that. Okay. And if that's the case, if that's the 1, 2, 3, and that was your huge third wave, you know, that being your 5 wave count inside there, this was your 4th wave cooling off, then yeah, we could see that run. Maybe we see that 20K. I mean, who knows, man? That could even be a potential, right? I mean, maybe we see that double top from way back when. We get a double top and then we sell off super hard. Another idea, another theory, doesn't mean it'll happen. Could, you know, that's aiming a little ambitious, but just something to keep an eye on, right? Well, there was definitely a clear 5 wave count below here, and then now we're definitely trying to figure it out as far as the consolidation. But keep us above this line, man. Keep me above, you know, keep me above 10K. I've had so many videos about keeping me above 10K, you know, that 9.8, the 10K area. But man, holy cow. I think we're about to spring load, kids. It's RSI not looking the most amount of amazing, but again, I still think there's area of value to be had. Doesn't mean I think we still go a little bit lower, but in the couple days, man, we're getting our answer. We're definitely getting our answer. So can't really validate that. So get rid of that. Come here. Yeah, I mean, don't lose the trend line there, but overall, I think you maybe come back and try to close at like 97, you know, 97-ish, and then we go. Could see that potentially playing out. Maybe even a 94, and create some bullish divergence around here. That would be super awesome. You know, that would be the bullish case. But right now we're still just ranging. We're ranging, which means alt could be at play, but something's about to give. We are definitely getting close to some kind of an answer. This thing can't hold up forever. Okay. Let's kill this one more time. And let's do some just EMAs real quick. Yeah, I mean, this is that 55, right? This is that big one. So you have the 55. I mean, you're just kind of crapping and sitting on it right now. You did shoot up one time before when you dipped below, right? But this time, I mean, you created bearish divergence. So you need to bounce. If you don't hold here, if you get to here again, there's a good shot. If you don't hold, we'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you at 8K. Okay? But I would still say this is a little bit of a bullish pattern. So don't lose 97, maybe 94. But if you lose those areas, I think you're screwed. I think you're coming down for a ways. But if you can hold those areas, I think you have a shot to maybe build some momentum here. Okay. Doesn't look great on any of those things, so that sucks. Not awesome there. So what would happen if we really sucked? Yeah, tightening. Okay, those are my thoughts. Those are my thinks and thunks. Leave your comments, questions, anything you have to say below. Also, check us out in the Discord. That's where the conversations are to be had. We talk about coins, trading setups, everything you could think of, Bitcoin related, FUD news. You pretty much can think of it. We can talk about it. So check us out. That's pretty much all I have for now. We're definitely getting close with the volume tapering off here. A decision is definitely coming. Okay, so be careful. We are kind of in, deadly waters. But I think we might be okay here, kids. All right, these are my thoughts. Cool. I'll catch you guys in the Discord. Cheers.